Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, hold on 1 second here. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, what do we have today? Let's see. Okay, so on the daily chart, obviously we're making lower highs and lower lows. So, from a daily perspective, obviously this is not the best sign, right? We don't know, and we'd expect, obviously, for us to continue to make lower highs and lower lows. I will say though, guys, that we have officially traded into discount of this range of price and we are bouncing from it. So do not be surprised if we end up coming up and maybe rebalancing this new week opening gap. We could also potentially go up and fill this volume imbalance, which is pretty much the same as the new week opening gap. But let's go over to the 4-hour chart real quick to see what we have going here. So first thing that I see here again is this 4-hour and the new week opening gap, the weekly open. So I think this is also a pretty strong target or a magnet for price potentially. We'll see what we get. Ooh, market just opened. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, pretty big dump there, right at market open. Very interesting. All right, so I'm gonna alert the community, but I just closed out some Tesla sold puts. So let me just quickly alert that. Where are my options selling plays? Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. What was the total here? 3.2 minus 1.28. So I got 1.92. Yeah, so it's about a 60% gain. All right. So on the 4-hour again, guys, what I'm seeing here, I want to see how this 4-hour closes. Obviously, we have a bearish 4-hour here that we want to see close above. If that happens, then I think we have strong potential to come back up to this weekly opening price. Maybe that happens today. We will see. Ooh. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Hey, Charlie. Good morning. Sorry, guys. I'm not really looking at the chat right now because I see a signature in price that I like. Okay, hourly chart. Same thing, guys. We have, so the first standard deviation and second standard deviation of the Asia range. actually extend right up to that weekly opening, which I do like to see. I would potentially want to see us trade up into this weekly opening price next. Also, especially guys, if we look on like the lower time frame, like the 15, this is obviously a change in the state of delivery, right? We were making lower highs and lower lows. We came up and pumped past this high, making this a CISD. You can see yesterday we traded into the 15-minute order block right there, and we're continuously going up now. London and Asia made a pretty sizable move here, and we did end up sweeping this internal high right here. I think this is a very obvious target that is very likely to hit. Probably today. We will see what happens. And then I would prefer, hopefully, to see this weekly opening price if possible. So I am going to look for 1-minute inversions. But yeah, we will see what we get here. I do want to look at some old buy days, though, because I think this has potential to be a buy day. But let me see something quick. So we do have 8:30 opening here, which we could tap down into, by the way, guys. You can see how we're behaving from that 50% level that I just drew out for you guys. You can see here that the 50% comes from the low of liberation day to the high. Let me draw out the second one as well, though, because there is one from the complete lows. It's actually where we bounced perfectly from yesterday. It's pretty wild how that works. But you can see, guys, that yesterday that change in the state of delivery drove us above that 50%, and we basically used it as support. So I like what I see here. Let me look at the 5-minute quick. I wonder if we can go down to our midnight opening price first. I don't really like this structure right here. I mean, we did make a low, we did like kind of turtle soup this, but not a huge fan of the fact that we already swept this buy side and we're rejecting here again. I'm gonna have to see something really A+, but ultimately, guys, my target is gonna be this 1 standard deviation of the Asia range. So I will mark this out. Let me use a horizontal line to do that. And I will make this blue and dotted. And then ultimately my target will be that high that formed on the hourly chart. Okay, but what's really important here, guys, I do like the fact that we inverse this hourly fair value gap, but the 4-hour is also really important, and that closes at 10 o'clock. So we've got 30 minutes until the 4-hour close. So if we get the close above here, guys, what I'm going to look for is a retracement into this 4-hour gap, and then maybe we get along somewhere in the morning session, like the 10:10 macro or maybe the 10:50 macro. That's my guess here. So I'm not going to be rushing into anything. Again, today is a no news day. Let me check the economic calendar just to see if there's something that... Yeah, so here's another thing, guys. Okay, I'm going to pull up the Discord so you guys can see what I posted on Sunday. This is very, very, very suspect, okay? Today's the 22nd, and we have all these FOMC members and IMF meetings. You guys do have to be careful here. And again, because the markets are so volatile, normally this orange folder news, like this Richmond Manufacturing Index, normally these don't have a lot of impact in the markets. But when we have these super volatile times, they will use anything as an excuse to drive the market. So you have to be careful, okay? This is the type of day to be scalping, guys. You should not be holding things, because when these FOMC members speak, they're going to use that information as excuse to drive the algorithms crazy. You're probably going to see the markets dumping randomly or going up randomly for no reason, and that's this random things the FOMC members are saying. So whenever you see that, FOMC members talking a bunch, just be super careful. These are the days where I personally would be in and out very quick. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the market real quick while we wait for red folder news. What happens if Powell is fired? um, if Powell is fired, it probably won't be good for the markets, but I mean, nobody knows for sure. I can tell you it's probably not good economically for us, but it's I don't know what the charts are going to do. That's totally two different things. Tesla up 2%. Nice to see. Wow. See guys, if I I'll be honest here. If I was trading this chart and I saw this inversion, I would be looking to target all these lows. But because this is Tesla, I'm not going to be shorting this, obviously. But I think we can easily come back and retrace a part of this BPR first. So wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing 300. See, look at the rest of the market. Ooh, Riot up 7%. Good to see. Bitcoin up to 90. Ooh, wow. VIX is down 7%. Lockheed Martin is down. Okay, nothing performing too crazily here. Tristan thinks this is a turtle soup. London manipulated Asia's consolidation above yesterday's 930, which created an S&T with the S. It's whatever. You thought it was a turtle soup to the downside, Tristan? Okay, so we're about to hit that one standard deviation. Just a heads up, guys. Whenever Uncle Pal says good evening, the market goes down. He says good evening every single meeting. Okay, guys, so obviously there's nothing here. You can see, I do want to teach you guys more about standard deviations. That's something I haven't covered, but you can see here that we hit it perfectly. I do think that we are going to this hourly buy side, but I do need to see the 4-hour close above first before I can look for a trade. But right now, gun to my head, I mean, this buy side obviously should hit, but also I want to see this weekly opening price, and I want to see this new week opening gap get filled. So my expectation today, wow, Tesla's up to 234. My expectation is that the FOMC members speaking are going to be the news driver to take us up to this high and up to the weekly opening price. From here, we're looking at 125 points. Pretty sizable, not huge for in comparison to what the market has been doing, but I still think that we have a chance to go all the way up here today. So let's see what happens around 7 o'clock. Oaf, is there any concept which is called inversion wicks? I don't know. I don't use inversion wicks. I mean, it's hard to inverse a wick, right? There's no gap. But there's probably something. Who knows? Okay, so we're about to hit that hourly buy side, it looks like. If we can get a retracement, yeah, it's called the John Wick T. The inverse JW. Ooh. Yeah, guys, I think this could be a pretty big day. I think we're going all the way up here today. This signature of price right here, we touched a weekly low perfectly. It's a different concept. Again, not something I'm willing to teach. It's my own model. But I think we are probably going to go up here. Again, this does not mean that I'm just going to randomly long here. Okay, that's stupid. But if we get some kind of an inversion to target this weekly opening, I'm going to look for something. Wow. Crazy moves here. What is that you don't want to teach? I've told you guys about it before, but all these levels that I draw out, but you can see here that we bounced perfectly from these levels on the weekly. This tells me we're probably going to deliver to one of these two spots today. But this is something I've developed over years. It's a personal thing. That's the one thing I'm not willing to share because it's too much effort. It's pretty much you'd have to learn ICT plus a bunch of other stuff. It's another whole spiel, but you don't need it. It's literally just confluence. It's not always perfect, but it's just kind of like rails in a bowling alley, if that makes sense. But again, guys, this weekly open is where I think we're headed, and new week opening gap. Potentially that volume imbalance that comes from that 4 hour right there. So we'll see what we get. Stopped at my long too early because I thought market open would drop. Tristan, didn't you? Oh, you thought this is the turtle sweep you called though, right? Nice, bro. Good job, Tristan. Anybody else take any trades? Again, guys, there's nothing I could have taken to target this buy side. If we look at the 5-minute, there was a really small 5-minute inversion here that actually Kay called out. He sent it to me in the Discord. But again, nothing that I would take personally. It's way too small. This one looks better though right here. So you can see when we closed above it here, that's a pretty good entry. And then you could move your stop to break even at one of the highs of this LRLR if you wanted to. You can see when we ripped past it, that was the end, and we just kept going higher. So we've passed the 1 standard deviation. We've passed the hourly buy side. I will mark London high here because this is also an important level. And then after that, guys, I think that we could easily come up to the 2nd standard deviation of the Asia range. And then we could probably go up to the new week opening gap, which they're pretty much hand in hand here. But if I was long on this, okay. Kay said nope. Isn't this the trade that you called out earlier, Kay, on Discord? But yeah, this is ultimately the draw for me today. And now that we've had this big pump, we went from 125 points to 75 points. So this is a lot more feasible. So again, guys, I'll have to see something A plus to get there, but that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, this, if you look at the 5 minute here, guys, this looked better. So Kay was telling me about the inversion from here. If it was me taking this, I would have waited for this candle. Um, this is a tough trade, guys, because you probably would have been stopped at break even. But if I had conviction in today, like if I saw this one standard deviation and the London high, then I probably would have been willing to move my stop to break even at this internal high. But yeah. There was a 3 minute IFEG too. Yeah. Wow, Tesla's up 235. Very nice to see. Also, guys, the puts that we sold on SOXL are now up 50%. So that's great to see as well. I may close these out here because we have a long time left on the contract. It's probably worth it to do that. So let's see if we can get a close on that. But yeah, guys, nothing A plus here, okay? Nothing at all. If we can get a drop down, because this is technically a breaker right now. This is a breaker block, so if we can get a trade down into this fair value gap right here, maybe we can get an A plus long from within this 5 minute. Could be feasible. The mean threshold is right here. So maybe something within this leg of price. Though my guess is this is possibly going to be a breakaway gap and we go higher here. But again, I could be wrong. So need to see something, some kind of a trade down into here and then a long. But again, have to be careful here, guys. When you see these massive legs of price, the market can be manipulated and this can end up driving back down lower. So we'll see. It has to be A plus, but I do see a pathway something like this occurring. Again, I'm not going to take anything yet because I don't see anything A plus, but this is a potential pathway here. And of course, I mean, if it was me, guys, I would partial at this hourly high if we get it, and then I would leave the runners to here because with these FOMC members speaking, I don't want to be holding a whole move here because a lot of the times what they'll do is they'll bring it super close, they'll drop the market, then bring it back up. It's just not A plus. Okay, so pretty sizable downside move here. I'm looking to see on the 2 or the 3 if there's anything really nice. This catches my eye. It's not 100% perfect, but nonetheless, it's decent. I'd rather have seen this be a little bit larger, I'll be honest. My guess, though, is that they're going to use the 10 a.m. news. It's now 6:53. I know you guys can't really see it, but... or the 7 a.m. news for me, 10 a.m. news for you guys, to drive us up to this buy side. So if we don't get a setup, we don't get a setup. But again, guys, I'm not rushing. We had a really nice trade yesterday. We're pretty much 6 for 7 now over the last week and this week. So not going to be taking anything wild if I don't have to. It's getting hot. Got the tank on today. If you notice, it's the same tank from the thumbnail. All right, so nothing here, guys. I mean, if I look at the 30-second chart, there's probably some, no, not even on the 30-second or the 15. I don't like this PA. But if we can trade again into the mean threshold of this 5-minute gap, then see some kind of an A plus long, then we'll go for it. But until then, I don't like anything. 2-minute inversion, again, I've said this already, but this looks decent. I wouldn't say it's A plus, but I do like the fact that we, again, I mean, look at why my bias is bullish here, guys. Okay, we swept major hourly sell side. Let's look at the hourly quick. This is the hourly sell side, right? We traded into discount of this whole range down here. We had a change in market structure, right? Change in the state of delivery. This is that hourly low. We came down, huge change in market structure here, and this looks like to me an intraday buy model, and that we were going to target this high, this high, this high, potentially this high, go up to the 2, 3, and 4 standard deviations of the Asia range. That's my take here. So, what do you think of MC Chickens? What the hell is that? What the hell is MC Chickens? McChickens? Like from McDonald's? Bruh. I haven't eaten McDonald's in probably almost 10 years. No Taco Bell, no McDonald's, no Carl's Jr. I've had In-N-Out a few times because I just get their lettuce wrap burgers, but no Panda Express, none of that shit. Yeah, it's all so bad for you. All right, so we got 4 minutes until the news. So my guess is that this is going to be the driver to deliver us higher here. But no way I can execute on this right now. But again, guys, gun to my head. I mean, I want you guys to screenshot this in your mind, okay? Look at this PA right here, okay? Sweep of hourly buy side, huge change in the state of delivery above this high right here. We had a huge up move, and now we traded into the order block, and now we're just making higher lows, higher lows and higher highs. Sorry, I always get mixed up. This is the start of a buy model in my view, okay? And so immediately your eye should be viewed towards this high, this high, this high, this high, this high, this high. And that's what I think is going to happen today. Now, in just a few minutes, we're going to get this 4-hour inversion. And from there, I would look for some kind of a retrace to go higher. And this is my target, this gap, this new week opening gap on the 4-hour and this weekly open. This is the draws on liquidity. So I'd pay attention to that, guys, and wait for something A+. If it doesn't present itself, then don't take it. But I think this is nonetheless what a buy model looks like. I can't agree with you on that one, Tristan. The fact you're using the word bussin' and you talk about buying and selling pressure, I can't trust you, bro. The buyer's getting exhausted. Okay, 2 minutes until the news. So we'll see what happens here. But again, guys, hourly draw. This is my target, and then I want these two levels. So unless we can get a setup up to here, I'm not taking anything, but gun to my head, these are the draws and liquidity today. I know, Tristan. I'm just kidding with you, bro. Okay, we got less. Ooh, so they're already driving it higher. So I will not be taking this before news, guys. I will be honest, though I think it will probably work. It's not an excuse. I never take a trade right before news. Doesn't make any sense to me to do that. But what's probably going to happen here is they're just going to push it. If you guys want to try and long scalp this here 1-for-1, keep your stop below this candle's low, you can. I'm not going to take it, but it's probably going to work. The other potential scenario here is that they bring us really close, they deliver us back down below these lows, and we get a setup from within here. So if we do miss these highs by just a tick or so, and with the news, then we can look for a setup later today, once this area gets touched into. So like if we come very close here and then we inverse this to the downside, this will be a nice scalp to target these lows, in my opinion. Though I don't think it's going to happen, it's definitely a possibility. Okay, so we came really close. Okay, so we touched it in. So now, guys, that this has happened, I mean, again, we've had this 4-hour inversion now. I still expect us to come up and fill this weekly opening price and this new week opening gap. So if we do miraculously get a setup, I will take it. I think this is a decent short scalp, so we could try this if it works, if it happens, and then you could target the 50%, maybe this low. But for now, guys, there's nothing telling me that we're going lower here. Nothing here that's A+ enough for me to have taken, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? I will say really quick, guys, if you look at SOXL in the on the trading floor, community, whatever you want to call it, we sold puts here when we were down in the low sevens. Right here we sold puts. And so we are up almost 50% on these right now. So if you guys want to close them out, be my guest. I am going to be closing them out if I get filled. I'm buying them back for 12 cents a contract. So 51% profits. Oaf, can you see at Bitcoin on the daily it looks like a buy model? Yeah, we can look over that in a bit, but I want to see if we get a setup up to this weekly open. For now, there's nothing, guys. I do want to see us potentially come back and trade into this 1-minute FVG. But for now, I don't see anything. And guys, if we don't get a setup and this weekly opening hits, I will not be taking a trade today. Just letting you know. This is my target for the day, and I will sit out if we hit this without a setup. But what I'm expecting is potentially a trade into here and maybe a move higher. But I need to see an inversion. And right now, the only inversion that exists on the chart is this little 2-minute, which technically is working right now. But to enter right here, guys, the RR is terrible. This is not a good trade, even if it works. Oh my god. Okay, so if you guys really want to scalp something, this is probably going to work. Just at least a trade back into this, but again, not a good RR. I mean, not a good... There's no setup, but I think we'll probably come back and stab into this, if I had to guess. Let me just quickly mark something here. The second standard deviation... All right, guys, I'll be right back. I have to make some coffee real quick. Sorry, I have to do this right. All right, guys, so absolutely nothing yet. Hopefully, they don't just drive it higher here. Although it's definitely possible, but if you guys really, really want to try something, again, this is high risk, but I will say it's possible this works. Whoops. It's literally just a 1-for-1 RR. Tag the weekly open and keep your stop below this candle's low. Again, no model here, but I think it will probably work. Again, I don't take things just because it seems like it's going to work, guys, but I would definitely be careful. But if you really want to try something, you could do that. I don't think it's A+, but nonetheless, it will potentially work. I would much rather prefer to see a stab down into here first and then get a long, but just because I want something to happen doesn't mean it's going to. If we do get a complete engulfing candle here, meaning this a red candle comes down and closes all the way down here, I will probably scalp this down to this 1 minute fair value gap. Because there's no reason for them to drive the market below this low unless they're trying to stop people out. So that means this fair value gap and then this low. So we'll see what happens here, but again, guys, there is nothing A+ here. The only setup that even occurred at all was that 2 minute inversion right there, which is not A+ in my view. Crazy. So realistically, guys, this is going up to the weekly open. We're not going to get a setup here, unfortunately, but we'll see. There is a small chance we get a retracement now. And if we do, I will take a scalp down to this 1 minute fair value gap, and then maybe we can look for a long later. Again, guys, I said don't be surprised if you see random big green candles or random big red candles. It's FOMC members speaking all day today, so. But yeah. So if we hold this area of price, guys, and we inverse this 1 minute here, I think this will be a good short. Because we're about to end the macro time too. So I think what they could be doing here is trying to induce traders long, and then they'll dump it, but we'll see. Well, at least I called this level for you guys earlier, but just because I call something doesn't mean shit, right? As long as there's no entry, you don't make money. Okay, so very close to that weekly. Look how we missed it by a tick. Okay, I don't really like that. In fact, that's actually kind of sketch. So if we don't hit it on the next candle, I'm guessing we're probably going to inverse this to the downside and come down and sweep this low. So just a forewarning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so if this ends up inversing, I think this is a good short. You could target this 1 minute fair value gap. So yeah, if we don't hit this on this candle, if this does not deliver us up to this buy side, I think this is going to dump us. This will be a nice scalp. Okay, so no close below there, unfortunately. But I'm guessing, guys, this is going to deliver us all the way down to this fair value gap right here and target this low. Oh, that sucks for people that are longing this, but this is what happens on days like this. Again, guys, still no model for anything. If you guys want to try this, if this closes here, you can. But I think this is too good of an inversion, so I would not take this anymore. I would have preferred to see it happen on this candle. So I'm going to stay out of this, but I still think we're probably going to end up going down to this low. And then probably this 1 minute fair value gap. This is the final line in the sand right here. If we don't bounce on this candle, then we're probably going all the way down. Uh-oh. So pay attention to this 1 minute gap right here. Because we basically failed that, so very likely we're going to come down and trade into that now. Yeah, Tristan, the buying pressure is waning. Sellers are stepping in. The sellers are waking up. Careful, guys. So you guys see how exactly what I said? This is basically just screen time, okay? When you see a very obvious level of liquidity missed by a tick, if we don't hit it on the next candle, we're very likely to dump. So that was the thesis behind that, obviously. And you have to think everybody that's long has their stop loss below this low. So the odds of this hitting are super high. And we're pretty likely to go lower. Like I said, this 1 minute should get rebalanced. But if you want to book your profits here, you're going to have a higher chance of getting a fill without getting a retracement higher first. All right, so I did just take that on a funded, guys. I did front run that up here, but that is just me, okay? I'm not going to tell you guys to do something when I do it if it's not a plus, but I did take that, I'll be honest. So you guys can see my one of my fundeds here. That's 275 on the day. So you saw my eyes looking over. Yeah, guys. I mean, listen. Sometimes I'll take things if it's for me based on experience. I'm willing to take the risk, but I'm not gonna tell you guys to take something like that if it's not a plus. So, nor do I ever tell anyone to take anything. By the way. Okay, so remember what I said? This body's low, this candle is a very likely target, but I said if you wanted to get a fill with a higher probability, that was your fill. Because sometimes what they'll do is they'll bring it below this candle's body low, and then they'll miss the 1 minute gap. They'll retrace the market first and then bring it later. So if you don't want to deal with drawdown, that was the most likely fill area. Now from here, I think we'll still end up going into this 1 minute gap, but we could easily get a retracement, come back into this 1 minute. Who knows? But now I think the draw is probably lower. I think we're going to go into this 1 minute gap. We might even come down and sweep these lows and then fill part of this 5 minute inversion, 5 minute bullish PD array right here. That's my guess. Did anybody front run this trade apart from Tristan? This 1 minute inversion? Again, it hit perfectly here, but for me, this was a good enough signature of price. If we don't see, so here's a lesson, guys. I've said this already, but if we come super close to an obvious PD rate, in this case, it's the weekly open and the new week opening gap. Look how we came so close to hitting it. I said, if we do not hit it on the next candle, it is very likely that this is going to dump us down to the next drawn liquidity. So here is where I front ran. My stop was above this candle's high, and my target was this low. So that was the thesis behind the trade. Even if the inversion doesn't work, because of this miss by a tick and the end of the macro time, that is a signal for me to go short. The RR was too good to ignore. And if you want, guys, again, I think this is going to hit too. But if we end up coming up with strength here and inversing this, then you should definitely be closing out your shorts if you're still holding them. Because this is going to drive us up past this and into the new week opening gap. But we'll see. Congrats, Charlie. Good job, brother. Yeah, a lot of us are winning here, thankfully. But I will probably not be trading anything on a funded anymore. If I get something A+, I'll trade it on one of my cash accounts. It is a no news day though, guys, and there are FOMC members speaking like I said, so if I was to trade anything personally today, it would be a funded or an eval. I would not, unless you're super experienced, guys, I would not be trading with a cash account, but that's just me. Okay, so remember what I said, guys? I think this is still going to hit, but this was the high probability take profit because we could easily get retracements first. Now, if we close above this, guys, we're going higher here for sure, but if we get a 1 minute close above, this is a terrible RR trade, and I wouldn't even take profits here. I would take profits up higher, like somewhere in this new week opening gap. But the entry would be here somewhere, and then your take profit. I would try and aim for a 2-for-1. So something like this. But my stop to break even would have to be at this high. So if we close here, okay, that's your entry. Stop to break even at this high right here, and then I would target 2-for-1. So this is a very bullish reaction here. No close above on the 1 minute, but I think that they're going to drive us all the way up to this high now. So there's no entry here. The 2 minute did close above, but you'd have to wait for the 1, to be honest. Oof. Punishing people that are chasing this trade. Okay, so there is a 1 minute order block forming here. So if we get this close above, guys, and the 1 minute inversion, this is a good long in my opinion. Riskier because we are close to high of day, I will be honest. If I was you, I would size down on this. But I think that if we do get the inverse here, we're coming to this high and then we're going to come higher. And SMT on the 1 minute. Yeah, I don't really care about a little 1 minute SMTs right now. But he is correct. There is a higher low being formed on ES and a lower high on NQ. Okay, we've got just under 30 seconds till this candle closes. Again, guys, if we don't get a 1 minute close above, there's no entry here on this trade. I don't like the fact that we're very high of day, so if I was taking this, I would size down. Maybe a quarter size or a third size position, because we are in premium of the current range, and we have FOMC members and all of that stuff, but I still think if this closes above, decent trade up to this high, and then I would probably target a 2 for 1. Okay, so unfortunately there was no close above there. Ooh. If this 2 minute closes below, guys, too, I think this is a good short. And I would target this area right here. Sorry, this 1 minute gap. Right here. This looks really good to me as well. So let's see what happens here. But if we do get the 2 minute inversion to the downside, then I think this low is coming and this is the target right here. Yeah, this does not look good for longs, I'm telling you right now, but we'll see. Now, I'd want to see the 1 and the 2 close below, right? Because there's a 1 minute fair value gap here, and the 2 minute is what I have in purple. So I'd want to see both of these close below. That's the entry, stop above it, and then target this low and this low. And vice versa, right? If we do get this inversion to the upside, that's a good long. But right now, this looks a lot more promising that we're going to deliver down here. Yeah, this does not look good for longs, I will be honest. Two-minute closes in 2 minutes. Oh, this looks so good. I kind of want to, I might chase this, but we'll see. I'd at least need to see a 1 minute close below it, which we are not getting right now. Whoops. But you can see we're delivering from a bearish fair value gap. We should inverse this to the downside, and that's the target right here. So the 2 and the 1 will be closing at the same time here if we get this. Yeah, this looks pretty darn good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm in this with a half size position. Take profit's going to be at this 1 minute fair value gap. Stop loss is going to be up here. Even though the close didn't happen, I think this is pretty decent. So everybody who's long has their stop below this low, and there's a 1 minute gap here, so that's the target. I would definitely move my stop to break even if this low hits, or even this low, to be honest. Half size is what I'm taking this on. Half size, because we already had a big down move here. All right, I'm going to move my stop to break even already, just in case we get a reversal. All right, so I got stopped out there. The reason being, guys, I don't like this body, this candle's low right here. Sometimes what they do is they bring it down there and then they'll reverse the market. So it's a free trade, but I think this is still going to go down to this low and then balance this out. But it is what it is. I'm not going to risk anything when we're super extended like this on the 1 minute when we have FOMC members speaking. I was basically betting that that was just going to completely drop without any retracements. Yeah, and structurally we're still bullish, so have to be careful. So you guys see why I moved my stop to break even there? Not going to be risking stuff like this on a day like today, even though it's still probably going to work, in my guess, but the 2 minute still has not inversed to the downside. 3 minute, there's nothing. 1 minute has closed below, but I still need to see the 2 minute if I wanted to re-enter this. But I probably won't, realistically. We'll see, though. Yeah, I mean, if this order block fails, guys, like if we get a candle close below this body, we're very likely to come down and fill this 1 minute gap. Very likely. I still think it's possible, but we'll see what happens. So my prediction here, or gun to my head, is that this is just consolidation, and then we're gonna end up coming down here, maybe even sweep these lows right here, and then we'll get some kind of a trade from within there to go higher later in the day. That's my expectation. Yeah, so this is a really, really bearish engulfing candle here. It looks like this is gonna dump. Do 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 do. So this candle really should not, we should not sweep this high again, but this looks like it's still going to fill this 1 minute. It's just probably giving us a little bit of a hard time first, but we will see. Do 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 do. So if this 1 minute does inverse to the upside, guys, this is going to be a move higher for sure. But I still think they're probably just kind of consolidating price here to deliver here. But again, there's no entry. Did the 2 minute inverse to the downside? Ooh, we did get a close below here. That is a good sign. Yeah, that looks really nice to me. If the 2 minute closes back above, though, obviously this is going to end up being bad PA. But okay, so not a good sign there. We just closed a below and back above, so immediately this tells me I don't want to be part of this PA. If you took this 2 minute short, guys, I would be out of this trade right now. Even though it's probably still going to fail, I would be out of it. So I will take this, guys, with a pretty small size position if we do get this 1 minute inversion. But I still do not, I'm still not convinced that this is the up move that we're looking for here. We're not in a macro time. I think this is probably manipulation and they're going to drive us below these two lows. But I could be wrong, so. Yeah, that does not look good for longs. We'll see. The other thing they might do is close us above here, fake everybody out, and then dump it. But again, guys, there's nothing A plus here yet. Okay, there's the entry. Whoops. Super small size, but because we are in premium, and I don't like this huge bullish candle on an FOMC day, but technically, guys, that's the entry. And I would probably target more than a 1-to-1 here. Oh my god, are they going to fail this? So if it was me, guys, I would have a hard stop below the body of this candle. Because if we're going to deliver higher here, I don't want to see this. Do you trade while traveling? Yes, but normally it's with much smaller size because I have a lot of different screens and I can't travel with a bunch of screens, right? Okay, so if I was you, I would move your stop to break even right there. Okay, so this is now a free trade. And I would target, so we just hit the second standard deviation. If I had more than one contract here, I would partial here, but I'm targeting two to one RR here. Okay, beautiful so far. I'd like to see continuation here though. So again, we are at 2 standard deviations of the Asia range. So this could easily be a rejection spot, but I'd like to see us go higher here. If you want to book, if you haven't taken any profits today, guys, this is the time to do so. At least partial here at 2 standard deviations. And I'll tell you guys when I'm going to partial. You know what? I'm going to move my TP just up here. And that'll be the end of the day for me today. If we do get it, let's see here. Okay, so hopefully we don't get stopped out at break even here. But I would like to see continuation. And again, guys, normally, like if I got an entry down here, I would definitely be partialing at high of day. But because our entry was here, you need the RR to be higher. That's why I'm trying to move my target up. Okay, so what I'm guessing is going to have this 1 minute gap. And then hopefully bring it higher. If not, I'm going to get stopped for break even here, obviously. You know what, guys? I'm going to move my stop loss just a tick below this low. Just so that we're booking some profits on this. So again, my thesis is that if we're going to be bullish here, we might come down and sweep this low one more time and then go up. But I'm hoping they just deliver it here on this candle. Guys, I'm trying to manage this on a bunch of different accounts. All right. So stopped out for break even there. It is what it is. But yeah, so I think I'll be done on the day with that, guys. What I would wait for here. This looks like a pretty decent inversion to the downside, I will not lie. But there's no denying that we're bullish on the day. But this still looks pretty good to me, and you could target this 1 minute inversion if you want. Or a 1 minute bullish fair value gap, sorry. But a pretty good RR trade here, but not optimal because we're obviously very bullish. But we have entered that high time frame PDA race. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sell-off, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, guys. I wish you guys the best with your trading for the rest of the day. Part of trading, guys, again, sometimes I sit on the screen for 3 hours, 4 hours plus, but part of trading is being able to be done, right? I as much as I love sitting at the charts and analyzing, which I do, honestly, I do. It's much better to be done when you've booked profits. I've booked profits on funded. I've had a couple of break-even trades as well, so I'm done. There's no need to be taking anything else. Couple books to recommend. Depends on what you're looking to do. Trading in the Zone is really good for day trading by Mark Douglas, I believe, is the author. And if you're looking for investing and little anomalies in price for long-term investing, and also day trading in a sense, is a book called Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. Charlie, thanks for the calls. Have a great day. You too, Charlie. I appreciate you guys being here. Again, guys, tomorrow is going to be a Discord day. So I trade the best days live trading in the Discord. Wednesday and Thursday are Red Folder News. So I will be trading these in the Discord under the live stream. So see you guys there. Appreciate all your time. And yeah, let's get another winning day tomorrow.